Howdy, I'm CyberX with Outlandishly Crafted, and today we're gonna talk about Discord and how to get help, how to get people to do jobs and models for you or worlds for you, and just talk about some of the things that you need to know before you jump on Discord, and maybe teach you a few of the common manners that we would like to see people do when you're using Discord and asking for help. So let's get started. Here we go. So let's jump into Blockbench Discord. This is where a lot of people come to get help with modeling and animations and all kinds of things. And one of the very biggest problems that we have in the indie game industry or community is trying to teach new people that are just starting out some basic etiquette and manners for when you're on Discord or a forum or Reddit or any of those places where you're asking for help and you're trying to get somebody to do something for free for you. So right off the bat, let's check the info and rules. Every Discord channel has info and rules, and you should check those out first before posting. It's a really good idea so that you know the do's and the don'ts of the channel. So the very first one that everybody needs to understand is the general chat is not for questions. The general chat is for general chat not related to everything else going on in the server. If you look at this server, this Discord server has 31,000 people in it. So think about, you have a question and you go into general and you're putting that question out to 31,000 people, and only about 3 of those people can actually help you or care. So it doesn't help anyone. It actually becomes abusive and spam and just stuff that we're trying to eliminate so that the channels are focused for what they need. So if you needed to get, say, Minecraft Bedrock support help, then you would go to How to Get Help, which is another one here, or you could read in here the different options, or you could look at the different channels that they have, and you can see here is a Help Bedrock Edition channel. So I click on it, and at the top it says right here what the description is and what this channel's for. So for example, if I wanted to ask somebody to make me an add-on, I don't want to do it myself, I want to ask someone for free to do an add-on, or I want to pay someone to do an add-on, then in this channel I'd come down to jobs and I'd go to jobs list, and the first thing people do is they can't type. They can't put anything in here, and they lose their minds, and they go to general and they ask a question in general. So once again, don't ask questions in general. Ask questions in the help channels, help and support channels, because those are the people that actually want to help you. Everybody else just wants to use the channel for their stuff. So what would you do in this situation? Well, you would read the description at the top of the channel, and the description says check pinned for instructions. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to the pinned messages, which is over here. If you're on mobile, then you just open the channel. There's a setting and then same little button. And in here is how to create a post. And look at that. The Bedrock Help channel also has pinned, and it has how to get help. Where's the custom or current resource packs? These are the number one questions to get asked over and over and over every day, taking time away from the people that could help with actual questions, instead just repeating the same things. Check the pin, or check the help, or check how to get help. So same thing. So here in every channel, you should always check the pin messages and see if there's a frequently asked question or a guide for what you're trying to do. So one of the biggest ones we get, the very first thing we're going to say when you come to Bedrock Edition Minecraft Help is Have you checked your log files in Minecraft? Because the game actually tries to tell you what's going on, and you just have to go look at the log files to know what. And nobody knows how to check their log files. So the very first thing we have to tell everybody that comes in is go check your log files, and then they say, well, how? And we could say, well, check the pinned messages, but they don't even know how to get to pinned messages. And instead of Googling where pinned messages are in Discord, they go to General and ask a question. So now that one person has asked 3 or more questions in general to 20 or 31,000 people. And instead, if they just would have taken and had a few hints and we could have just taught them where those things were, they could have solved all of these issues without someone's help. So that's the idea of this guide. So here we go. In pinned messages, you have the 101 guide. You have how to get help, right? Really cool. So that is the main piece of Discord. However, before you ask people for help, especially if they're asking for free help, if you're going to pay somebody, have at it, right? Pay them to do whatever you pay them to do. But if you're going to ask people in the community for help free, we request that you go to Google or YouTube and put your question in first. Because most of the time, if you just take that one step, many people in the community have already made guides to answer that question because you're not the first person having that question. Thousands of other people have had that question. And so we've made guides to help with those questions so that you don't have to need a one-on-one hand-holding to solve those issues. Because one, we have lots of time zones. We have lots of languages. We have 190 countries involved. And so it's very hard to meet everybody's needs one-on-one and the demand. And so you have an idea, the demand in like a Blockbench channel like this, Blockbench is growing at about 1,000 people a week. So if 200 to 300 of those people need help and don't follow the basic, watch the guide, do a search before helping, or they ask in general, you're talking about somewhere between 200 and 800 questions a month, or a week, sorry, just in general. So that's why we wanted to get some of this information, or more or less, I wanted to get some of this information out into the community to help you understand some of the etiquette and the rules of using Discord in the community. Another few ones are don't spam people, be patient. You have to understand that for all of those people asking questions, there's only 2 or 3 of us answering questions. So if you wait 10 minutes and then post again and then are all upset because nobody helped you, that's not on us. You know, it could take days sometimes to get help. The best way is to watch a guide, fail, watch another guide, learn some, fail, watch another guide, learn some, fail, and keep failing and keep watching and keep failing and just till you get all the way through and in learning. And that's how a lot of us did it in the early days before all these resources are out there. But we know there's times you're just going to get stuck. We all get stuck. We all can't figure out that next step. And that's why we're here. We really need those people that have tried. They've put in the college try. They've really gone out there. They've Googled it. They've YouTubed it. They've watched the guides. And when I say watch the guides, I don't mean just like skim the guide. I mean, do the guide with the guide. Follow the guide. And a lot of times it's you're trying to understand what's going on and you're trying to like understand it all. And what I've seen is that's hard to do. The best option is not to try to overthink it, not to try to understand it all, but just to do it. Just do the process like the guide does, follow it step by step, go all the way through it, and just do it. Do it a few times. Then as you're doing it, you'll start understanding pieces of it and be able to tweak little pieces. You make a little change, you test it in the game, you see what works. If it doesn't work, you undo it and you do something else. And that way, you're self-learning and you're getting yourself through this project, and you're using those guides, and you're using all of the documentation that wiki.bedrock.dev's provided. Everything's written so you can go read what things are and what components are and what events do. It's all there so that you can go use it and access it all the time. So you don't have to ever wait for somebody. That's kind of the goal, that you can access this information at any time that you need. So a few other things. A lot of the Discord channels request that you only speak English, and this comes up a lot, that people feel like it's discriminatory, but the real problem is the moderation. If you have 100 and some languages being spoken, then the moderators have to be able to speak them, or they have to be able to interpret them. And the problem is most of the translators don't function properly to translate the meaning and the feeling of things. And so the moderators are there to try to keep people, safe, and not from being unfriendly or unrespectful or whatever, and they need to be able to read the post for that. So the rule is everybody needs to speak English on this Discord. No excessive swearing. Don't ask for roles. Don't ping or direct message. This is a big one. A lot of people will DM, and if everybody that needed help DM me, I'd never be able to even open Discord. Think about it. There's 31,000 people just in this one Discord, not to mention all the other Discords that I'm doing, or Unreal 5 Discords. If everybody that needed help was DMing me, it would be so fast I wouldn't even be able to open the program. So there's really a reason why we have these help channels, so that when I'm available and I have time to help you, I can come to you, I can answer the questions. Maybe it's my potty time, whatever it is, I can be there to help you on my schedule, and be able to optimize my time as best as possible. If I'm in the middle of a really hard project and I've been working 12 hours and I'm just deep in, and I'm building something phenomenal, and then you DM me and it distracts me, and I have to go over and I have to then talk to you, or even I don't, that's just that little one, and most of the time it's not one. It's like someone will send one message and then they'll send like 6 or 7 and 8. So now I've got like 8 or 9 dings in my head, and it's really hard to stay focused in those. And so then I turn off notifications, and then I'm still getting all this stuff. And so you just got to know that the people that want to help will help in those channels. That's kind of how it is. If you want to hire somebody, or you want to talk to somebody about work or some of that stuff, post it in the job channels. Now, if you're really talking about a big project, and for me at least, and you're talking about you want to pay me to, $30,000 or a whole bunch of money to make a game for you, that's different. Feel free to DM. Most people are okay for that stuff. If they're not, they'll say commissions closed or whatever if they're overloaded or they can't do anything else. So those type of things are okay. But if you're talking about something for free, where it's not a business to business conversation or a business to business interaction, then you really shouldn't DM people at all, ever, unless they ask you to or give you permission to. Don't DM the moderators. Like, I'm sorry, but you got to be an idiot to go into a Discord and DM all the mods because you don't get an answer. That's entitlement. That's not how the real world works. So just read the rules. Keep in mind your position and who you are, and you're just starting out and you're learning all these things, and take it slow and get a feel for the room, just like if you go to a restaurant, or you go to a new day at school, or you go to college for the first time. You don't just go out and start yelling and screaming at everybody in the General Assembly. You're polite and you have manners, and you figure out how things are going. So that's one of the good things. Try to keep the discussions on topic. That's not a hard one. If you're looking for art advice, or you're looking to show off something amazing you made, then this channel and many channels have what they call a model showcase. And you can go post your models in showcase. You can get art questions and art or Minecrafty stuff. How do I do this pixel art? Or how do I texture a bear? That goes in art. A few of the other channels you have is something like this Bedrock OSS. This is for like the high-end stuff. These are the people that are running the wiki.bedrock.dev website, you have this Bedrock add-ons help. Same thing, they have a general. Most of them do have a off-topic, so if you just want to chat about stuff and hang out in the community, that's fine. Go over to off-topic. But same thing, you shouldn't be asking questions that are related to development or art or any of those things in those places. So those are some of the etiquettes. Oh, sorry, I need a drink. Those are some of the etiquettes and just manners that it'd be really nice if we could get the newcomers and the people that are joining the indie community and the people that are coming into the Discord and all those places, just to get an idea of kind of what the rules are and how to find different things and how to find the info and how to get to pin and how to get help. So if you have any other questions, you can always ask them in the comments, or you can check me out in the Discord, the Blockbench Bedrock Help Discord channel. I normally answer questions there a few times a day. And if there's anything else, you can always hit me up at my website, outlandishlycrafted.com. Check out my games. Help us on Patreon if you'd like to see more guides. We really could help use some support financially. If you know any partners or corporations or businesses that like to sponsor our efforts to make these guides and do this to give back to the community, we definitely could use a little bit of help there. So thank you so much. I'm CyberAxe with Outlandishly Crafted. Have a good afternoon.